Okay. This particular video is just for both of us to let's brainstorm together. Let's talk about society things. Let's look at how can we really beat down the budget, the economy, the exchange rate, and most of my subscribers that are from Nigeria, they've really been working on what can they do to be able to travel, achieve that goals or dreams of traveling abroad, at the same time doing that with not too high capital involvement. But this is why I just feel we should brainstorm this info, what I have to share there together. But before I dive into it, I'll see what I can do, try as much as possible not to make this video too long. But one way or the other, when I have too many things to say, too many things to share, sometimes I really cannot escape that. Based on this topic, let's dive right into it and start looking at this one is traveling. Let's look at traveling on a low budget for undergraduates. What can we really do if you're considering to pursue an undergraduate course or programs abroad? How can you really manage that finance and ensure you didn't spend so much? But the truth is undergraduate program, when it comes to Europe, they kind of have some kind of not too favorable options. The limitations is kind of there. The reason being that there are two major countries that officially consider English as the language. Which, what I mean, let me probably rephrase it in a way you would understand. Two countries that are English speaking countries in Europe, though they have their other language, but officially they are known for that they are English speaking country. It happens to be Ireland and Malta. And this is where Malta comes in. Ireland and Malta. Funny enough, there are cheap schools straight for undergraduate in Ireland. I know of a particular school. I've applied to that school before. But the challenge you will face if you're going for undergraduate in Ireland is the area of proof of fund. I will go into details when I'm explaining that. It's part of the point I intend to list. So I will probably just mention the countries I feel are options for you, and we'll just quickly talk some things about the country, why it might be a low budget for you. But the challenge, like I mentioned earlier, other countries are not English speaking countries. They have this thing. They need to respect this indigenous, right? BSc programs are often they offer in the language, the official language or the language of that country. When it comes to BSc program, they make sure that at least there's a whole lot of rooms for the indigenous to study in the language they understand. Then it is mostly in master's program. That's when they start introducing many courses that are done or taught in English. That's why they are kind of challenge or limitation if you're trying to pursue an undergraduate program outside um, outside your country, considering Europe. But that for Canada and US, they're English speaking countries. There are varieties, but the challenges for those one to remain, we'll all know what it is. So if you now want to consider, despite all these difficulties, what are still these options and at what rate or what cost will it take you? This is where I quickly want to talk about first Lithuania. Now, I do not know how it's going to be like, but the people that will be enjoying a country like Lithuania, the people that will be enjoying that countries are people from South Africa. If you're from South Africa and you want to see if you can travel to study in Lithuania, yes, it will be easier for them. And do you know the funny part? I don't think South Africans like to travel like that, like other countries like Nigerians and Ghana, other South African countries. I really do not think South African like this jackpot syndrome thing, whatever. No, they have a good economy. Yes, they have a very good economy, and the rates and salary wages rates there is fantastic because even some people migrate from African countries to South Africa, and they are doing fine. So I don't really think they would want to, because if they would want to consider traveling, they want to go to the bigger player to get. So, meanwhile, they have the upper hand there when it comes to Lithuania. And why do I bring up Lithuania? Lithuania has initially they used to be between 1,005, 2,000 something tuition fee per year, but now I realized while I was checking the last time that they've been kind of a little increase. I think the tuition fee is between 3,000, 4,000 euro or so now, between 3,000 to 4,000 euro or for something per year for Lithuania. And one bigger thing is if I'm to look at Nigeria, like those of you that are from Nigeria, we know they don't have embassy in Nigeria where you can apply for the direct resident card. You don't even apply for visa. You're applying for resident permit directly, but there's no embassy in Nigeria. And for those of you that have been trying it out, you definitely would have known that initially they used to have where you can apply in Dubai and Jordan and think Oman or so, but Nigerian cannot travel to Dubai. The ban has not been lifted. And Jordan, recently they shut all those places. You can't even go to Jordan to apply. So the only option available for, I think, for people of Nigerians are Ghana, if I'm not mistaken, will be South Africa. And South Africa is not visa free to Nigerians. So if you're not considering Lithuania, there are two difficulties, challenge you would encounter in the process. The first one is that you need to also apply for a visitor visa to go to South Africa. Well, it's not going to be that difficult though. So you need a visa to South Africa where you have to book a return ticket to go and submit the document for your resident permit there. The second challenge you will encounter now, I'm talking of Nigeria, is that most of the undergraduate program in Lithuania would not accept your WAEC direct. I do not think so. Most of them, I've tried to reach out to them, like they would not really accept your WAEC direct. They kind of when you have it's easier when you have a 1 year post secondary program, like you do a kind of a diploma of either a year or two outside the SSC, then you'll be sure of getting the admission faster. That's that for Lithuania. Please take note. Then quick one. Let's look at the number two country we consider here, of course, is Malta. Yes, Malta still remain a very wonderful option for you to consider in terms of undergraduate program. One, the first beauty is that it's English speaking country, so all the programs are taught in English. You don't have limitation as to which program will they teach you in English. Um, would there is mode of instruction be in English? No, other programs are done in English, so that you are lucky. That's one beauty. And two, the tuition fee for international students range from 4,500 to 6,600. So if you want to consider, you might just look at the lower part, go for the cheaper rate, where you look for programs that would allow you pay 4,500, then you won't do much. So that's the beauties of Malta. And another one is that Malta happens to be a country that will not stress you too much when it comes to POF. It's seamless in terms of admission application, visa process. It's seamless regardless of the fact that there is interview in between while you're applying for your visa. Be prepared to do an online interview, and it's not a big deal. People have been getting it. If you do the right thing, make sure you pay your full tuition fee. Even the school is asking you to pay part payment. If you can just work towards paying your full tuition fee, this will increase your visa chance. So Malta is a beautiful option for the fact that it's from 4,500 to 6,000. When you even see a 6K for the foundation program, then if you see there's a particular video I did, I was talking about the Good News Global College programs offer stuff like that. I think I'll try to link it up somewhere. Then the third one here is Ireland. Why these are some beautiful options. The reason why I mention all these three programs based on the fact that Lithuania can afford a very cheap school, and you can get programs or if not almost all the programs too are all done or taught in English. You can get all the programs are taught in English in Lithuania. Then Malta, all the programs done or taught in English. Ireland, the undergraduate program are done and taught in English. Then the thing you should expect, there are two key challenges you will face when you want to try that of Ireland. The first one is that Republic of Ireland, you would need English proficiency certificate during the visa stage. And logically, or one way indirectly, that same English proficiency certificate would serve you or increase your chance of getting admitted to the schools that are affordable. In terms, we are on a graduate gist here. So the schools that I know that is affordable, the tuition fee is about 6,000 euro, 6,500 per year. It's a business program, business kind of school, although they have BA in accounting and finance and all those other stuff. So the first year will be like 6,500, 6,500. Then the subsequent year, which is the second and the third year, will be like 5K. And it's a 3 years undergraduate program too, similar to that of Malta. And same thing that I think that of Lithuania, if I'm not mistaken, I think 3 or 4 years. That this island thing. So the second part, since the first challenge you will face is that of you need to at least write English proficiency exams. If you can't do IELTS, please do Duolingo. Then the second part, the second challenge you will encounter is that this is where most people really cannot even go close to Republic of Ireland, regardless of how cheap this thing is because you will need to show your living expenses covering the 3 years, the 3 years you're going to stay in Ireland. So, and each year is 10,000 euro. So you are going to show living expenses of the first, second, and third year, which is 30,000 euro. And then you're going to show the balance of your school fees for the second and third year for 5,000. So the total POF you need to show if you are pursuing an undergraduate program is 40,000 euro. Bam, bang, bang. And the challenge again is you do not have to let this money be a lump sum that is not defendable in your account, which is how do you get 40,000 equivalent? So you must really be from those that chop very well. That's why people who are the middle class, the hustlers, don't really or cannot afford or go through that path. Then the other one we have here is France. See, people have been saying there are schools in France that are affordable, and yeah, in case you are running masters, master one, master two, and those one, yeah, I think you can see from 300 euro plus to 3,000 something for the undergraduate. For you to do an undergraduate in France that is affordable, that program will have to be in French. Yeah, the program will have to be in French somehow. And quote me if you think I'm wrong. The program, the mode of instruction of that program will be around. It will be French. They might gradually introduce it from the first to the second year, but just trust me, note this, it will be in French. Then the one that is English speaking program that you can get admission that will not require much of paperwork during the admission process. It's about 6,000 euro. 6,000 euro for undergraduate program. And I don't think it's much. The admission process is kind of difficult. The proof of fund is not huge as well. So it should not be, it's something, the proof of fund is not much. So I think that's why I included France here. So, okay. Then there is a vocational programs. Another one again is that Italy would have also been considered a very affordable place in terms of tuition. But no, it isn't easy. You don't get admission for to an undergraduate program in Italy easily like that because you would have to do sometimes you will have to write this entrance exam. Yeah, there is this entrance exam that is involved, and majority of the program are to be done in Italy. The one in English, the requirement is that entrance exam and some of them may ask for IELTS, some might not ask. So it's not really easy. Those that are affordable for undergraduate in Italy, the condition to get in is not easy. That the entrance exam and the selection process and all that made it difficult. And I think they have very few courses too that you can do in English. All right. That's why it's kind of mostly meant for masters, those pursuing a master's program. But I know of a vocational schools there that is deal with that mostly tourism kind of. Most of their programs are tourism courses, hospitality is general. The school fees is about 7,000 something. I don't know, based on one online YouTube video. You might I have researched, I've checked things out with the school. The school fees range is 7,000 plus. Yeah, and you will be able to get admission directly without all this entrance exam and all that. So if you feel you can afford that, then you can also consider Italy, looking at using this school to enter where you will not have much stress going. And the mode of instruction is English, is hospitality program. So that one is there. The quick one we have Belgium. I have researched and I also saw one schools in Belgium that offer like international business administration for undergraduate, and the tuition is between 4,005 or so, between 4,000 euro plus. But you know, the challenge with Belgium, so for your visa approval to really go that high, you need a block account. You need that money to go and wait for you there, which is about 12,000 euro, your living expenses. Uh, Around that 12,000 euros. So the reasons of the block account or the two other ways to show your proof of fund, which has to be a close relative that is staying residing in Belgium, agreeing to sponsor you to fill the sponsor letter. That's the two way if you really want to get in. So if you have someone in Belgium, you then you'll be able to consider that tuition rate of about 4,000 something for a business related undergraduate program done in English, because most of the undergraduate program too are kind of limited, done in the language, except for masters and other. But I know of that school, one or two, that have a business related program in English and it's about 4,000 something. But the proof of fund will be the major key challenge. Then Portugal also, yeah, for master's programs or postgraduate, you should be able to find options that are done or taught in English. There's this particular school that is affordable and it's about 1,005 euro or so in Portugal. But you know there is huge competition when it comes to trying to apply to that program. It's more of a vocational. There is a vocational schools that offer this program in hospitality related. In fact, it's about 1,000 something, and you would have to be paid on month. You'll be paying this tuition fee on a monthly basis, which could be like 200 something euro. But you need to do, you know the things about Portugal. You make sure you have all your documents legalized and authenticated in your home country the way before you apply for it. And there's a complete high levels of competitions because a lot of people will be applying for it. What you just have to pay is about 25 euro application fee, 25 euro enrollment fee, and then if they select you, fine, the money is not much. But please take note of the challenge here in Portugal. Going to Portugal, is not English is not the official language, even if this English is widely spoken there. So places like that, you need to always prepare yourself for at least your living expenses for 6 months. Do not expect to jump in, you find yourself, even those that are English speaking countries, you don't get chopped as fast like clap of two fingers. You need to prepare yourself. Everybody keeps saying that if you want to go to a place like Portugal, make sure you have your living expenses for about 6 months living expenses to take your time to look for what to do and how to get that job. But in case you don't want to go through the process, all these vocational courses that might not be easy to get, there are other schools in Portugal that you can actually pay from 7,000 to 9,000 euro. But the beauty of it is that even if the school fees is about 9,000 euro, business related course and all this stuff, they allow you to pay on monthly basis, which is this monthly installment, which could be around 700 and something euro per month. So you can easily just pay for 2, 3, 4 months ahead, get into the country, see how you can cope with taking care of the rest bill. So that's why it becomes affordable for undergraduates. Then the beauty, one of the major progress schools, place where you can actually see very affordable tuition fee is Austria. They don't have much options for undergraduates. They are very limited when it comes to undergraduate. But I've seen 2 or 3 schools that offer business related program to taught in English for undergraduate. And the tuition too is about 780 euro per semester. But undergraduate is not like masters. Undergraduate need write an entrance exam. After the motivation letter, submitting document and all that, they will organize an entrance exam for you in that school. So there's an entrance exam involved. That's one challenge you face. The second one is that if you look at people from Nigeria, it has been a huge challenge, a difficulties getting appointment date for legalization of your document, legalization and authentication, let alone before you now start talking about applying for visa. So the video that I'm talking about, I'm going to do the beauties of what Malta undergraduate program can help you achieve. I have a video that I said is coming up. I will be able to tell you how you can benefit from that, using Malta as a best way, the platform, then to open different channel and opportunity for you. So I will stop on that one for Austria. Then the quick one, the last one here I will take is Poland. Poland has school fees that ranges from 1,000, 1,500 euro to 2,000 per year. But we all know we have been struggling to get appointment date for legalization authentication in Nigeria for Poland, and it has even resulted to a lot of stuff, things that people were saying. Now, there is even a recent rumor that Poland is trying to even stop legalizations of your documents and all those things. I mean, authentications of your legalization of your document from your home country, which has to be done in an embassy or a place in Poland. And most time, how can you get your document to Poland when you don't have the means? Then it means it will then get to involve agencies that will be handling that. It's also compiling or compounding the difficulties the more. The challenges of getting to Poland that's making it becoming harder. So that's just that of Poland. So it's not flexible. Now, summary, a quick one. If I look at this old stuff, Lithuania, having to go to South Africa, Malta, direct, do it on your own from anywhere you are, Ireland, France, the not English programs, vocational skills tourism program in Italy, Belgium, 4K 4005, but block account, POF or sponsor in Belgium, Portugal, yes, Spain or installment, legalization and documentation. You should be able to do that easily in your home country. It's just that prepare for living expenses 6 months. Austria and Poland. If you had to look at it, funny enough, which one will you consider most easy and flexible for undergraduate? Bang, bang, bang. The only one that's so easy there is Malta. This is the one that will not give you a headache at all. Just bring that document you have. Just go to the school portal, apply, gather. The rest, you have to go through one phase or the other. You have to be searching for programs that are done in English and all the rest. This is where Malta stand out for undergraduate program and the best option for undergraduate program. Then immediately after Malta, if you can afford the proof of fund for 3 years and the remaining balance, Ireland, for those that want to do business program, would be a very lovely options. Then if you think there are other countries you know on your own, oh, a quick one. I didn't mention Finland. Finland undergraduate program is not that easy as well. And the tuition rate is from 8,000, 9,000 euro or so per year. And another thing is that you have to pay a full tuition fee if you're going for those Finland undergraduate programs, the programs that are done in English, particularly going through the University of Applied Science in Finland. Yeah, I don't have to mention Switzerland because they do not really have undergraduate program most like that done in English. But for Finland, they have a lot on program done in English if you apply to the University of Applied Science. The only options you now have where you don't even pay money at all is when you have to look at the vocational schools in Finland. And those one you will need to write Duolingo English test. Then you need to join the competition. And another thing is kind of limited to the waiter, waitress, hospitality care chef program, nurse, and mechanical and program like that. So the vocational schools really are kind of limited to some course. But despite that, even if there is one that is offering logistic, even if something like that, you need to write the English exam, Duolingo, and it's totally free. You don't pay money for it, but you write that English exam to apply, and then you be prepared, be smart, and be ready. Once the portal open, apply. Before you know it, the portal can just close. Bang, bang. in the twinkle of an eye. That's how highly competitive that one is, because it's totally free. So you know that. But if you don't want to go through the stress of that one, to even the one that is not free, where you pay 8,000 to 9,000 euro, those one you will need to do either SAT exam, or some of them will ask you to write IELTS exam. If some do not ask for IELTS, they probably will ask for SAT. And after that, there are entrance exam generally that will be conducted for you under this University of Applied Science. That is one other challenge. So it's not that cheap when you have to pay as high as 8,000 or 9,000. It's not really that cheap. The only cheap part area is the vocational program. So sorry, this is where I just have to stop it for now. And I say a big thank you for watching. Until we meet in my next video, let me say bye.